speaker, who is Lion Flood, and I can't wait to talk to him. So I'm just going to bring him on a few minutes early. I am so excited about having you on board because I've never been able to meet you before, but we just linked up on LinkedIn. And I am just so excited about what you're going to be doing because you're talking about how to unleash your digital brilliance. Yes. And what a concept. So I know that you're a very sought after speaker and that you bring a wealth of knowledge to us, that you have just a very dynamic and engaging presentation. And I know that you speak on 4 key topics: digital differentiation, strategic branding, virtual networking mastery, and content that captivates. And I know how important all of that is, because being a certified master personal brand strategist, all of that stuff is so important. So with that, Lion, I'm going to let you take the show.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And if at any point you have a question or anything, please jump in. I love interactiveness. I love the energy. So please.
Yeah, great. I am so excited. So yeah, let's get that energy going.
Perfect. Thank you. So, hey, everyone, thank you all for being here. And same for you all. If you have any questions, whether you're watching this live, replay, no matter what, let me know. My objective is to get you from where you're at to where you want to go. So, Lion Flood, a little bit of backstory about who I am and what I do and how I came about this, right? What I want to show you today is the meat and potatoes. I like cutting all of the skin off, right? I want to show you the how and I want to show you the why. I'm not going to show you the where to get it from. And what I mean by that is this: the virtual world, it came upon us. We were all shocked. Everyone was like, how do I do my speeches? How do I do my talks?
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, we got to go virtually. But no one taught us how to get on screen. We didn't know where to put our hands at. We were like, where do I look? How do I sit? Right?
So, when we start out, we are so self-conscious. Yeah, and I will tell you, as someone who has been through the battles, I actually did in my history. I have done 80 live streams that didn't work because of the technology and all of that. I can remember doing this one that was like 3 hours long for a class, and I never recorded it. So I had to go back. So we've all had those disasters.
Yeah, and one of the things as we started going along with it, though, is now our businesses started to adapt to being on screen, being on Zoom, being on whatever platform it is. Mm-hmm. But there was still no one really to kind of narrow down how to look professional on camera. And I'm going to show an example of that in just a moment. Okay. It hit me. My wife and I were talking, and I as a hobby, in essence, I used to create platform graphics and logos for people. And so many people were asking me to do it. And my wife said, you should just start charging people. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, there's an idea.
And I was like, okay, because we would still get on screen and we would still do the dreaded word fillers, like whatever. Then people would do this also. We would have a screen and the person whom we were speaking to was on the screen, and we would look at them like this. And we would talk to them. And I'm talking to your face currently right now, thinking I'm talking to you, but I don't have connection because everyone else who's looking at the screen is seeing me looking down. Yet, my eyes to the screens here, now I'm looking directly at you, even though my brain is saying, you're not looking at her, you're looking at her.
Right.
And so that's part of the things we wanted to show people. And I come on screen directly like this for a specific reason, because I like to ask the audience and people who are watching this, when you're seeing me on screen like this, what feeling does it evoke? Because we still want to transmit feelings to our audience members or whomever we're speaking to. What do you feel? It just feels natural, maybe. It just feels like, okay, all right. Now I'm going to show you a totally different way of how I work to show people. I call it, in essence, putting on my makeup.
Okay. Well, we all understand what that means.
Yes. So you can see me just like this. Now watch with one little adjustment. Now all of a sudden, look what just happened, right? My camera looks different. My facial structure steps back. Now my settings and everything have changed, and it feels a little bit more comfortable. I don't feel like I'm right up in your face.
Yeah.
Now I feel just a little bit different. I'm going to take it a step further as well. And I'm going to show you one more that I love to do as well, because I'm a person of pop. I love that splash of color.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to adjust my screen one more time to what I like.
Yeah.
Right? Because this visual mastery now evokes a little different feeling from the people who are going to watch it. That splash of color that's slowly moving around the screen. Most people may not see it, but it's psychological, because just like you're watching a commercial or a movie, every 7 to 12 seconds, the scene changes. They don't stay on the scene.
That's
right. They
That's
have someone in the kitchen. Then they have them on the couch. Then they're outside. Then they're getting in the car, whatever it is. They don't want to bore you when you're watching the video screen. And most speakers, most people, that's what ends up happening, even if you do have slides. And I'm going to show you a whole nother way of how you can make those slides burst, right? How you can make it feel different, so that people aren't just sitting there going like, it's another slideshow. It's another presentation. Such as a slide. And so they don't want that to end up happening. So I wanted to tell the audience a little bit more about who I am and why I should be someone to listen to. Right? And this is where the slides come into play as well. So take a look at this. My name is Lion Flood. I have been featured on several television shows. Good Morning America. Now you notice how my slide looks a little bit different. More professional, right? This is my son. This is my wife, one of my wives, my wife and my family. There's my family there as well. I am a family heart-centric person at heart. I'm a retired Marine, and I just love giving back. All right. I've spoken at several different events in front of crowds. I've been featured on television, CW Network, Good Morning America, ABC. I've hosted television shows, and I was a professional magician in Las Vegas. So I know.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I've been all around the world. I've hosted my own television show in Las Vegas downtown. I have been on NBC News as well. My family and I, we featured on there. And that's when they came and interviewed us. And then also that's me again hosting my television show in downtown Las Vegas. So I say that to tell people that I've been in the television world and on film. I've been featured in 5 major movies that are performed. The Bourne series. I've been in the Jason Bourne series. I've been in several movies. Right? So I've been around a film feature. I understand the mind and the psychology of it. So that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of share to start off with, of why no matter what you do, if you're in a virtual space, you need to elevate that space. Because think of this, we spend tons of money, whether it's on ads, whether it's on influencers, no matter what we do. And I saw some of the guests talking today about ads and so forth. We spend a lot of money to get people to come and listen or watch us.
Right.
Now, what happens is the people whom we're pitching and we're trying to get to, they're consumed with tons of fast-paced stuff all of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So they are used to either making the decision to watch you and listen in the first 3, 7, 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you come on a screen and initially you're just sitting at a wall that's white and there's nothing else going on
behind me.
So people are like, I may stay, but now it's Bueller, right? That whole Ferris Bueller thing, yeah? So little small things that I want to show someone. Hey, everyone, thank y'all for coming today to our event. I want to tell you what's going to happen today. Let's take a little quick look at that.
Cool.
Hey, everyone. Today's agenda, we're going to be talking about visual mastery. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about lights, camera, action, and then also we're going to get into a couple of interactive techniques to make people stay and listen and watch you. And then last thing, I'm going to share with you some compelling and relatable stories, right? Do you see the difference in how that just sparked something when I say we're going into the next thing? The video came on and then the agenda came on. It looked professional. Now, if you're going to be asking people to purchase your books, to purchase your courses, to purchase something that's high ticket, $5,000-$10,000, sitting in a bedroom with clothes behind you and whatnot, then it might be a little hard to ask someone to give you $5,000 or whatever. Something
Absolutely.
Right? Exactly. So these are a couple of the things that I really love to hammer on to tell people of why the importance of elevating your virtual presence matters. Now, it doesn't have to be anything significant and big when you're first starting out. And I'm going to share a little trick with you.
Yeah, great.
Question, Dumont, and everyone else out there who's watching. Have you ever seen a Zoom meeting or a meeting in general, and someone has the virtual background on? They're moving, and it's like they
all like,
right. Yes, they go away into the abyss, right?
Yeah.
Showing that is one of the most distracting things that can happen in a virtual space.
Okay.
You're losing the audience, you're losing the presentation because people are now watching the space disappear. My next question to ask you is this. My background, what do you think about it? Do you think it's virtual?
Well, from what you've told me, it's all kinds of virtual.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
I asked that question and 99.999% of the people say that. I'm going to give everyone here a free tip. This background, in essence, in which you're seeing is this. It is simply a canvas.
Wow.
That I picked up for $19.99 at Amazon. But look at the difference in how it makes my
it looks. Yes, absolutely. I hate those things where their hair is, doing all that weird stuff. So that's great.
And I'm going to show you an example of someone else who used a similar thing, some of the people I've worked with, to do that. Because now this feels like I'm just sitting in my living room or whatever, and I got my windows and wall back there and the water and everything else is back there, right? So it feels kind of similar to something like that. Now, for the people who say, I don't have a lot of time and effort and money to do something like that, I just told you I ordered it off Amazon for $20. I took thumbtacks and I hung it up on the wall that's right behind me, and it doesn't have to be something like this. Do whatever you can use for your space. If you placed yourself at the corner of your wall and put a picture and a plant inside of you, that right there elevates you even more than you just being in a completely empty space with your front door behind you and all of those things, right? I also told you I'm going to talk about lighting because that is
and I'll give you one of my free tips real quick. I'm terribly nearsighted and I have to wear glasses. These glasses have no lens in them.
Okay.
Because I didn't have the right lighting, so I just got an extra pair of glasses and put a lens in them. Because that way I'm not reflecting everything the way I would with normal eyeglasses.
Yes. And I'm going to show a diagram here shortly of how to have a tip inside of our class of how to, because most people will put the light, first they use a ring light, this circular light. Get rid of it. If you're using it, get rid of it. But then when they look into their glasses, you can see the light reflecting as it's coming into very distracting, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people will ask sometimes and when I'm coaching is that my conversion rates aren't strong. People are leaving. They don't tell you that you were boring. They don't tell you what distracted them. They're doing an anonymous survey, and what comes back is they said, I kept looking at her glasses or his glasses. Or I could see their screen reflecting into their glasses. Or whatever. And there's a thing I'll show you in a second of how I have my lights set up. But I'll give you a perfect example of my lights. So my lights are on, and now my lights are off.
Oh, look at that.
That difference, right? But then boom, it comes right back on. So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and jump into that right away. So I'm
Okay.
going to bring this up, and I'm going to just kind of skim through some of these so I can get right to it. So let's see. Expectations. Okay, lighting setup. Here we go.
Okay, great.
Effective lighting and camera setup. What's one of the things that you want to do is you want to have what's called a 3-point light setup. Now, what that means is this. Let's see, is that the right one first? Yes. Okay. So imagine.
I love this. I love this. You're up there and
Yeah. Hey guys, in case y'all didn't see me, I'm up in a circular corner.
yeah, cool.
You want me to move that over? Cool. Move over here. Look at that.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, Lion. Oh, I love this.
So you're the center, you're a yellow little dot right there.
Mhm.
Which you in essence want to have the cameras in front of you, and you want to have what's called a fill light on either side of you. I have mine on my right side, and then you want to have a key light. If you notice, and I'll show you another diagram in a second, one light is closer to me and the other light is farther back. One light is higher and one light is lower, and that's for a specific reason. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Here's another look so you can kind of see. The backlight is called, another name for it is called a hair light. It doesn't highlight your hair, actually. It accentuates the shadow that's over your shoulder.
Oh.
So it lights it up better. And then the fill light and the key light, you can see one is at a 45-degree angle, and then the other one is at a 50 to 70% degree angle. And that they counteract each other to get rid of that that reflection that you will get.
Yeah.
Okay. And these are things that I learned in film school as well. Didn't say that. I went to film school. Shout out to Full Sail University.
Yeah, hey.
All right. So, and then your camera position, as you can see inside this one here, it can be close, far away. But again, we have those different lights that will start to fill those things up. It's important for your camera placement as well. You can see that most cameras, you want to get a wide angle or a slim angle, but most people are just using the webcam. I'm going to say if you want to look professional, you need to elevate and get rid of your webcam. I'm going to show you something in a moment that tells you how to get rid of that right there. This is an example of my setup in reference I was just showing you. So I have one light that's angled differently, as you can see there. Other light is angled a little bit higher and angling down to my face. So it makes it so much better on the whole space that you're capturing to try to make people look better and professional when they're elevating their virtual presence, right? Then if we go into backgrounds. Oh, wait, let me get rid of that one. Oh, there we go. 1 second. There we go. Okay. So now if we go into backgrounds, here's an example of having that light and that camera there.
Yeah.
This is one of the people I've worked with, and you're able to see her background here in just 1 second. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So that background looks like actual library books.
It certainly does.
But it's not. It's a canvas, the same one.
Same thing that you use with the other one. I get it.
Absolutely. The same type that I have back there as well. And we worked with it and we positioned it. And for her, if you look really close, there's a crease in the corner, but no one will ever notice that because no one's looking at her.
Yeah. I can't.
Afterwards, she told me whenever she would get in her virtual space, everyone focused to her. Prior, people were talking and looking in the background and they could see all of the movements and stuff. This elevates your space tremendously and dramatically, I assure you. So let's, I'm show you one more thing really quick as well. And so this is another background that I use that's underneath the one that I have. And I specifically put this on here that said it's not a virtual background because everyone thought it was. But that's a great thing. But I don't have that space that you're disappearing like Patrick Swayze in Ghost, right?
Yeah.
I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, this will elevate so much from you. Last thing I want to talk about real quick before I jump into the next one is instead of body language, I want to talk about eye contact. I showed a little example of that earlier today when I was looking down at the screen and I looked up. So here's what I want to show you. Look at this right here. Here I am in a meeting with a few people, and I am the one looking directly into the webcam. But look at everyone else's eyes.
Yeah.
They're looking directly at the screen because in essence, they think they're speaking to the person that's talking, and they're not. Now, versus that onto something like this. Look at everyone's eyes now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work through some things, and we're right back into looking into the camera. So
Yeah.
most people are probably asking themselves right now, "Oh, Lion, I don't have one of those fancy cameras that look like that and do all of that." That's okay. You don't need it. Do you have a cell phone? I'm pretty sure most people do, right? Yeah. I'm going to show you a quick little short clip that's going to show you something, and then I'm going to come back and kind of answer questions. Check this out here. Let's see. Now, this is very important why this is happening. I'm going to go right to another video here. Watch this one as well.
What did I just do?
Now, that was shot on an iPhone.
Hold on. I am somehow out of, what just happened here?
We're good?
No, I think we've been kicked out.
Of
Oh, you can, Chuck? Okay, I just can't see it for some reason. Okay, there we are. I just hit the wrong tab. So
No worries.
our expertise, Lion.
This is the best part of it. I love this. And if you see the bottom of my screen, it says the art of going live, right? It's what I teach. I love teaching live because your people who watch you are more forgiving. They understand what's going to happen live. I hate recorded videos. No, my phone's going to ring. They know it. My dog's going to bark. They know it. So it's okay. Now,
yeah, and I got something. I got I can't even think of what the software is called, but it actually screens out all the dog sounds, and I can't remember what the name of it is. But yeah, it's very important.
Yes, very, very important. I use one that's called Crisp.
That's what it is, Crisp.
Okay, see, there you go. It works perfect, actually.
Yeah.
Now, I showed 2 videos there, and both of them were shot on an iPhone. Now, I'm an iPhone user. I don't know how Android phones are, but I know they have good phones, cameras as well. You can use your phone as a webcam, and it has better resolutions than a simple webcam that's on your computer or on your laptop.
Okay.
You don't need a fancy DSLR camera. It's great if you have one, but you can simply use your iPhone. And for someone who says, well, I don't know, those things don't really work that well, I want to show you another quick example of someone using an iPhone. Check this out.
On my ultrasound. See what I have to do. I know.
Yeah. I love that, Lion. I love that. That is so cool.
Now,
I love your sense of humor too.
Thank you. Yes, it's pretty amazing if I say so myself, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love these special effects you're showing. I mean, this is just, we don't have this kind of knowledge,
Yes.
And anything now, I think so many people we're caught, unprepared for the whole digital and visual thing. And
Yeah.
so anytime, we can get help from somebody, that really counts. And, I agree with you. Whenever you're looking people straight in the eye and you're talking and you're natural, I think that comes across so much better. And being vulnerable, if you have to, and being prepared for anything going wrong, technically.
Gotta be. And absolutely. And any of those things helps out. And I love showing that specifically to knock down a domino of people who have that, that rebuttal of, well, I don't have this and I don't have that. Those are two nationally recognized commercials that were played at last year's Super Bowl.
Oh, and I didn't see them because I don't watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But these are companies that relied on an iPhone to shoot their commercials. And I've got several other examples of actual videos, music videos from professional artists who use them. Less money, less space, and they do the same thing. So take your iPhone, take your Android, put it on a tripod and put it in front of your laptop or whatever. And then now you're going to get a better.
Oh, yeah. Because I know I have one of these little things that will hold your phone.
Yeah.
But I've never actually tried it. I was going to try vertical videos next.
Yes.
I think the more real we can be too, and the more we can talk to people directly and recognize that all of this is really, really about emotional reactions to it.
Absolutely. People, you need to know the people who you talk to so that the people you talk to will know you. I go live on almost everything I do. I let people know what I do. And even speaking of the verticals in reference to what you were just referencing earlier, and then I also saw it being referenced earlier when I was watching and he was speaking about the books and the reels.
Enjoya, yeah.
Right? So I love doing things like that. Let's say, for an example, LinkedIn is one of my favorite platforms I love going to. And when I want to talk to my LinkedIn audience, I want to change things up a little bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look at this. That's great.
How are we doing, LinkedIn? Yes.
Oh my God.
This is my LinkedIn audience. Maybe I want to go to my YouTube audience where I can be a little bit different. I can take my hat off and but now I'm in a reel format. I can record reels. I can go live. I can talk to my audience and meet them where they are.
Yeah. Exactly.
They watch reels. Here I am. Right. So I want to do all of those type of things. So in order to elevate your virtual presence, you need to step out of your comfort zone. If to look professional on camera, here's the challenge that I usually give to all of my clients, my students. I need you to go live for 30 days. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care how long it is, at least 1 minute. I don't care if you get up every day and say, good morning, everyone. I'm about to fix me a cup of coffee. That's it. Go live for 30 days. What you will build is resilience, strength. You will get comfortable on that virtual space, answering questions, and you will start to build one of the most important things with your audience, rapport. They will get to know you. I asked my wife one time, I said, why do you watch these reality TV shows? And then it dawned on me. I was like, she's watching someone else's world because they're not perfect, right? They have the drama just like us.
Yes.
They do all of it, whatever. And I think, well, that's why people want to watch what you're presenting, right? Even if it's a webinar, if it's a coaching session, is whatever, you need to be able to elevate and be different because everyone is doing the same thing as you in essence. You just need to be different.
Yeah. You just hit something that right there, Lion, because we know that people don't buy from you because you're the best.
Yes.
They buy from you because you're different. They're kind of different.
Yeah.
And that always is so important to me, looking at, how do we present ourselves? We don't have to be perfect. You know, and we don't have to be the only, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, you know, that's where I play most often. And I can't tell you how many times I've done something and screwed it up, but you just have to get comfortable with it. And that going live, oh my gosh, the first couple of times I did it, yeah, it was the scariest thing I'd ever done.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I realized, you know, that I didn't have to look like a movie star, I could just look like myself and be there and, you know, and have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's when you start getting better at it.
Exactly. And people will, your audience who connects with you will stay. If they don't, then they're not for you. They will go. But you have to take those steps in order to get there, in order to get to that goal that you want. You can't keep saying, I'm afraid. Someone's going to judge me. Oh, you got to move forward, right? I started going down that road when I was doing that because, so when they were going into the reels and they were speaking on that, I was going, but I'll show you guys this. This is one of my reels that I placed and I put up on. And if you look at this, you can see that there's about 251,000 views and about 300 people share it. Right? And so I love showing this because a lot of times people will say, well, you know, we need to know that you know what you're speaking on. If I've done this, and I've done it multiple times. Here's another one for an example. Here's another reel. 12 shares, 67,000 views.
Wow.
Reached about 157,000 people. So that's close to 50% of the people that watch it, view it, and share, you know. So I'm very familiar being in this film and this world of virtual space of what I'm speaking on. I know how to connect with people. I know how to show you, more importantly, how to connect with the people that you're trying to reference. It does not matter what space. You could be selling socks. We can connect with them. It's all about being authentic, being who you are, and knowing how to present yourself differently. Stop standing there with just white wall and nothing. You have to elevate, especially in today's space, right? Everything's so quick, so fast. You have to be able to do stuff like get your nerd on, for an example. When someone says something, that's one of my little jokes. I love saying that.
Get your nerd on. I love it.
My little, right?
Yeah,
We are going to laugh and have fun. We're going to laugh and enjoy ourselves. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm going to have fun when I'm on screen. You can sit there and be bored. It ain't happening with me, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes. So, look at that. Questions. Oh, right. So it's just something that I love showing people. What's that?
I thought I did see a question.
I'll do it again. There it is.
Oh, that. Okay, great. Okay. I was looking down in the comments and going, somebody.
No. So that's my little thing to ask people. Say, hey, if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and put them.
Yeah. I love that.
And people will see this. And I tell people, you need to do what works for you. This is my personality.
Yeah.
You don't have to be as colorful and everything. You could just do something as simple as this, for example. Let's say the colors bother people. I can take the colors away. It's just black, right? But it still has my logo. It has my stuff. You can put it wherever you like, but you have to look at your virtual space in the same manner that you put in for your ads, that you put in for your slides. You spend all those hours making the perfect slides. Spend all that time putting all that money out to put ads out.
Yeah.
To get people to come to you, and your conversion rates plummet. People don't stay, they don't purchase because they look at you and say, well, if you sign up for my class, we're going to have 8 weeks of coaching sessions. And they say, 8 weeks with you? No. Why would I want to spend 8 weeks listening to the same monotonous conversation? Right? You have to be able to adjust to what you want. Even in reference to the books, right? I put this on here specifically to show a book, Green Eggs and Ham, right, by Dr. Seuss. But look how much more professional that elevates the space.
Yeah.
Speaking about my book.
So you're really seeing it.
Yeah, when it's right next to me, right? I want people to see that it looked professional. It just flowed into the next one. So those are some of the main things that I want to express to anyone who's watching this and learning and listening and watching. spend the same amount of time putting makeup on your visual work
Mm-hmm.
that you do on your writing, um, on your scenes, on practicing your speech, and practicing your webinar, your copyright, whatever it is. The same amount of time you give to that, you need to give to your virtual space.
Wow, you are really inspiring me here, Lion. And I loved it when you showed us your setup. You had this 3 screens. Well, how do you use those different screens? I mean, I have a laptop and a webcam here, and a display. But how do you use all the different screens?
So I love that. And thank you for that question. I am a person who lives in a virtual, chaotic joy. So, but I say that because my desk, my workspace will look chaotic, but I have everything structured so I know how to use it. So one screen is specifically for example, like if I'm going to place or play a movie or like the short commercials we saw.
Okay.
I only use that specifically for that. The other one is specifically if I'm going to look at comments or if I'm going to look at something else specific to the screen. And then my main screen is for only thing I want on the screen, for an example, right? So that way, if someone comes up with a comment, I can just go, oh, hey, Jeff brought up a comment and I want to speak with you all. And matter of fact, I'll show you an example of one, right?
Okay, great.
Because everything that I do with intention. If I post something, it has a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing a live, whatever, if I'm joking, I make it funny, it's specifically to create engagement. I want people to respond. I want people to, feel something, to say, wow, that motivated me, that inspired me, that changed me, right?
An emotional
yes.
reaction, yeah.
Yes. Right. So when I do webinars, for an example, or if I do any kind of speeches or anything, I've noticed I sit back and I look at a lot of coaches and I'm taking notes and I'm looking at a lot of webinars. I go, yeah, I see how they did it. How can I do it differently?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
And one of the things that I see often is when someone's talking in a virtual space, they will say, oh, well, Paul has a question. And then they read Paul's question.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else that's watching or listening does not get to feel like they're involved in that. They only hear you say that they have a question, right? So I was like, how can I change it? So I created something that goes something like this, for example. So if I bring up a comment, I can bring up a comment or a question on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets to read what the question is. They still get to see me and they still get to feel like they are a part of that question, right? And so I'm still getting movement. You can see my big hands in the back. You see the focus of the question in the center, and then I am in a circle on the bottom right there.
Uh-huh.
It's a little small thing that I get to do. So instead of me just saying what the comment was, everyone else gets to see what it is. Now, Paul also feels like, wow, my question got up on the screen. Yes. So other people want their questions on the screen. So they're going to start typing instead of having to fight with people. I see coaches or someone say,
yeah,
so no other questions? It's because people don't feel valued enough to put their question there most of the time. They want to feel like, hey, center my question, or we missed their question, right?
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, that happens. I mean, it's so common.
Yeah, all the time. But those are things, again, that most of us in the virtual space, we don't understand and we don't know what to know. Like, we don't know to ask those questions of why did I get 80 people show up but only 2 people asked a question? Right? Or everyone was quiet, right? Because they don't feel like they know you yet. They don't understand. People ask me, why when you speak every time you talk about your family, you go into a backstory? Because I want people to know me. I want them to feel comfortable asking a question or answering one throughout the presentation, and that I'm not just salesy. Let me pitch you this.
Yeah.
Similar, if I want to put a question up and create that engagement, I would do something like this, for an example, where now I can
look at that. Yeah.
on the screen and say, hey guys, put your answers in the chat. Or
yeah.
now they feel like, yeah, the answer's whatever, A, B, or C or whatever.
Yeah.
everything happening. And I work to present my virtual space almost in similar aspects of a movie or or something on TV. Every once in a while, something's going to happen on my screen. It's going to change. If you tell me I just finished something and writing a book, I'm going to say, oh, you know what, Dumont, that was a big win.
Yeah. Oh, these are so cool. I love those.
I'm going to make you feel like you are a part of this show, of this space, right? So yeah, those are some of the ways that I want people to learn to create a movie as if you're going to star in it if you're doing a virtual event.
Yeah, so you have your story in there too. You know, and I was wondering if you could share with us some of the tools that you use or some of the resources that you use, you know, for your video and those kinds of things.
Yes, absolutely. So my number one thing that I use always, forever, will never change is called Ecamm.
Ecamm. I'm writing that one down right now.
Ecamm. So now there is a caveat to that. Okay. Ecamm is the number one streaming platform. It's similar to StreamYard and some of the other ones currently we're using, but
yeah,
it is for Mac users only.
Oh, well, I have a Mac.
Oh, then you're there. Then, and the number one thing I speak on when I say that is the ease of use that this software brings and elevates your virtual space to.
Okay.
A lot of people will use some different Riverside, for example, to record. They will use StreamYard. I speak nothing against any other platform. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
But if people have never heard of it or don't know about it, then they don't know.
Yeah.
And every event that I go in, when I go into a Zoom, when I go into a Lineable, when I go into anywhere, the number one thing that everyone always mentions and says is, you know what, I didn't catch that guy's name, but his screen was like this, and it was different. And then I get tons of emails or tons of people wanting to know how I'm doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
I highly suggest this to anyone because of the ability of people to do it. And speaking of that, if anyone wants a free trial, look how smooth that was. My goodness.
Yeah.
Ecamm thing here.
Yeah, that's great.
14-day free trial with that QR code right there. So if they're watching live, artists, you know.
Okay, yeah. And if you guys are on the VIP ticket, you're going to get all this stuff, you know, directly. So
look at that.
Listen to Lion.
That's one of the absolute main sources that I use. The second thing I also tell anyone is audio. That's more important than your screen. Why? Is because when you're first starting off, I don't want anyone to think that this is how I first started off. Yeah. I started off in my kitchen with no backdrop, but I also progressed. But I knew at the very beginning, audio was key because studies have shown people will shut off something if they cannot hear it or if the sound is great. If your video is not focused or whatever, they'll still listen and watch you. It's like a podcast, but if your audio is not. So invest in a $60 professional microphone. We can use the microphone in the camera and the web, but it's not as sultry, that soft voice that's coming through, right? So that's my second thing for you, that I would suggest, those two things.
Okay, yeah, and I mostly live on LinkedIn, although I do some things on other ones, but that audio is so important because now LinkedIn has an audio component, you know, where you can actually do those things. And for me, I'd love it because I don't have to put on makeup, so there's a lot coming out about audio right now, and a lot of different techniques, but I can see where that's so important. I remember when, what was it? Clubhouse? Is that the one that Apple had?
Yep.
Yeah. And I never really got into it because I wasn't that interested at the time, but now I'm really trying to learn this stuff. Yeah. So I will definitely take your recommendations about the mic and the backdrop.
Yeah.
because those are terrific. And Lion, one of the things I wanted to suggest is we're coming up. We're going to be switching our LinkedIn Live and calling it the Dumont Digital Marketing.
All right.
And so I would love to have you come on and talk to, and present to our watchers, our viewers, sometime in the future, because I think that would be great. And I want everybody to remember that if they have the VIP ticket, and there are a lot of people that have the VIP ticket, so you are going to have this entire recording available, and it's going to be all yours, and you can just see it, and you can take care of, and you can get all of the gifts. And Lion, would you put that yeah.
The QR code?
Yes, thank you. The QR code. Oh man, I need a break.
Words, there you go.
My mind is just going, going crazy here. But I wanted to see if there are any questions that people normally ask you. Do you get one question more often than any other?
Oh, I think I do. If I had to kind of narrow that down, the one question is, how do I get comfortable on camera? That's probably the number one thing I get. People want to be on camera. They want to share their information, their business. They feel like I'm going to be afraid.
Yeah.
That's the number one question that I get.
Yeah, and I think you've answered it. Go on live and keep doing it. I mean, I've had some real disasters on live broadcasts, and I think we all have at some point. One of my favorite influencers starts out by saying, "We have had every disaster known to man, happen on these, we've got backup servers on 2 different continents. We've got, and he goes through it, and he says, and we've had absolute failures." Yeah. So I mean, you just have to be willing to take a chance.
Absolutely.
And just get that comfort level.
Yeah.
If you were going to give people one piece of advice, I think I asked you what the first step would be. But if you were going to give them, if they were going to ask you a different question than how do I get comfortable, what do you think that would be?
Let's see. The next one would be, they don't ask this directly, but it comes out about word fillers. I feel like I don't know what to say when I'm on screen. What do I say? How do I create content is kind of what comes out when they're starting to get into that process.
Yeah.
And so to answer that, what I usually tell them is a couple of different things. And also, I'll issue a challenge to anyone, because I do this very often. If you're able to watch this VIP replay, go back and look at how many word fillers you can find that I say. I can assure you that is probably less than 5. That's because I specifically focus in to not say that. I used to say, so. Yeah, right. So people want to know what to say, how to create content, and I tell them it's everyday life. It's everyday life. You don't have to think about what am I going to create tomorrow? What did you do today? What you did today? Content.
Yeah, I think that storytelling aspect of it, that you can, once you know about stories, you can make a story out of almost anything.
Yes.
Lion, you are a scream. And I'm so glad that we had you on, because you have made me laugh, and I'm sure anybody who's watching this would laugh, and you have given us so much good advice. Lion, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I don't think anybody has addressed the kinds of things you're talking about. So listen, thank you so much, Lion, and we will talk to you again, I'm sure.
Enjoy the day. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.